Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. So according to PBC Vice President Tim Smith, Errol Spence won't be fighting Terence Crawford anytime soon. Now, in my opinion, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford should be fighting next. But unfortunately, Errol Spence is going to be fighting Mikey Garcia next. And Terence Crawford, well, he's going to be fighting some bum, just like the last bum he beat. But you know what? The last bum he beat took him 12 rounds to stop the guy. What's up with that, Terence? The power not there at 147, Terence? We're going to get back to that in a minute. Now, Errol Spence is signed on to fight Mikey Garcia in February. I don't want to see that shit, all right? I don't want to see that fight. Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia looked flabby and sick at 140. You telling me he's moving up to 147 to fight one of the best fighters at 147. He's going to get fucking stopped like everybody else, all right? Mikey's going to get stopped. You know, his people going to rally behind him. But ultimately, he's hurting himself by doing this. He might be severely damaged after this fight with Errol Spence. This is a bad idea. But I don't think it's for the money for Mikey Garcia. I really think this delusional ass motherfucker thinks he could beat Errol Spence. He really believes he can beat him. And you know, we hear the stories of Mikey Garcia stopping heavyweights and sparring, bullshit ass stories, little Mikey. You're not finna do the same thing to Errol Spence. That's not about to happen. All right? You're getting stopped to the body just like everybody else. That's what's gonna happen with Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. A wasted fight. Okay? Now, Terence Crawford. Hell, I don't know who the hell Terence Crawford gonna fight over at Top Rank. I don't even know why you still signed on with Top Rank, to be honest. You know, they say Errol Spence is afraid to fight Terence Crawford, but, you know, in Terence Crawford's post-fight interview, I didn't hear him mention Errol Spence. I didn't hear him clearly say who he wanted next. You gotta be specific. You say you want the champions. Who you want? Who you want? You want Spence? You want, what's the little big-toothed guy? Sean Porter? You want Keith Thurman? Who do you want? Say names. Say names over there on ESPN. You're doing some good numbers. You know, you got a nice little following on Twitter. You know, you was undisputed at one point. But 147 is a completely different league. You know what? If Keith Thurman was the real Keith Thurman, you might have some trouble with him, honestly. But, you know, after your last performance, Terence, I don't think you can beat Errol Spence, to be honest with you. I don't know if you could take a punch. You know, you're going to be slowed down by that body attack. You know, Terence Crawford don't got the power at 147. You know, this is actually a good fight. You know, people saying that Errol Spence is going to wait him out. The motherfucker, they're around the same age, man. Like, what you talking about? But look, according to Tim Smith, the plan is for Errol Spence to focus on matching him against the other PBC fighters. And according to this article, this shit's dumb. They listed Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, and Danny Garcia, right? But we know Manny Pacquiao's not going to fight Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao's fighting Adrian Broner. And after he knocks Adrian Broner out, he's going to fight Floyd Mayweather, and he's going to disappear, all right? There will be no more Manny Pacquiao after he fights Floyd Mayweather for the second time. And Adrian Broner, after he gets his ass beat by Manny Pacquiao, he's done. He's done. Mikey Garcia, stick a fork in him too. He's done come February. Danny Garcia don't even got a belt. I don't even know if Danny Garcia going to continue fighting. But Sean Porter, well, you know, Sean Porter talked a good game after the win against Danny Garcia, but clearly he didn't want that fight with Errol Spence. Clearly he didn't want that fight. Just like clearly Errol, what's his name? Keith Thurman, Keefy, who definitely don't want that fight with Errol Spence. Let's read off this statement from Tim Smith. The same guys that are available to Manny Pacquiao are available to Errol Spence. He's got a full plate. We want any fight that makes sense for Errol Spence at this time. We're concentrating on our business. Our business is making fights with premier boxing champions fighters. When the time is right to get the deal done, it'll get done. Tim Smith's statement. And I'm assuming he's talking about that fight with Terence Crawford. Me personally, I think you should probably go for that fight next. You know, I don't want to see you fight Mikey Garcia. Go fight Terence Crawford. Take the WBO belt from him. Because if you beat Terence Crawford, there's no doubt. No one can doubt you. You know? At one point, I probably would have picked Terence Crawford over Errol Spence, to be honest. I would have picked Terence Crawford to beat Spence. Spence ain't got no head movement. Spence, you know, he's like a one-trick pony, man. He's going to come forward. You know what he's going to do? He's going to come forward, and he's going to hit you with that body attack. That's all he's going to do. But Terence Crawford has a lot more tools in his arsenal. He's going to use movement. He can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He has a lot of different tools to beat you. But my thing is, man, if you can't keep Errol Spence off you, you're going to go down just like everybody else before you did. All right? That's just plain and simple. I'm not saying that strictly because Errol Spence is a bigger guy naturally than Terence Crawford that he's going to win. Because, I mean, just look back in history. The bigger man doesn't always win. But in this case, Terence might get stopped. But come on, man. The fight, in all honesty, should probably happen next because Terence Crawford's got next to nothing to work with over there at Top Rank. You know, unless they start pulling those B-level PBC fighters like a Berto or, I don't know, man. I don't know what Terence Crawford is planning on doing next. I need to take a look at the WBO rankings, maybe. Maybe that might shed some light on this, but Errol Spence has lots of options, which is probably why they're not going the Terence Crawford route. They want to milk the fight. In terms of these guys being afraid of each other, I highly doubt Terence Crawford is afraid of Errol Spence, and I highly doubt Errol Spence is afraid of Terence Crawford. You know, there have been some things said about Errol Spence and his drinking habits, and, you know, if you go to his Instagram, you see he be partying a lot and shit, but, you know, I don't think this dude got that big of an issue. We've only seen this guy, like, super drunk on film once, and that was, where was that at? I can't remember what fight that was at, but, yo, he was wilding. Oh, that was at the Danny Garcia-Sean Porter fight. Yeah, he was wilding that night, but, you know, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, as boxing fans, we're being fucked because we're not going to get this fight anytime soon. It's going to be marinated. They're going to marinate the fight, and they're going to make as much money as they possibly can because boxing is a business. And it sucks to say that shit. It's a business, first and foremost. So Errol Spence is going to run through the guys at PBC, and then when he's got no one left, then he'll fight Terence Crawford. And say what you will, say he's waiting him out, he's trying to age Crawford, you know, but at the end of the day, it's not up to y'all. I could get on here and talk shit all day about both of these guys. They're not going to make that fight anytime soon, man. It's already set in stone that Errol Spence is going to be fighting these PBC fighters. And you know what? Honestly, if Errol Spence don't beat Mikey Garcia convincingly, if you don't stop Mikey Garcia, if you go 12 rounds with that boy, it's not going to look good for you. And I'm going to have to kill you on tape because you need to beat that. You need to beat that boy. You need to stop him. If you don't stop Mikey Garcia, you ain't shit. And if you don't stop Mikey Garcia, you shook. Anyway, Hitman Boxing, drop a comment, like the video. Let me know what you think about this matchup between Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. What do you make of this whole situation with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford? Is Errol Spence ducking Crawford? Is Crawford ducking Spence? Again, neither of these guys want to say each other's names on television. Like, real talk, this is what needs to happen. Terence Crawford, if you want that fight with Errol Spence, you need to start stalking this guy. You need to start going to these PBC events. I'm not sure if you can appear on, you know, on Showtime or Fox in terms of just like, you know, them showing you in the crowd or whatever. But you need to start going to these fights. You need to start talking to media. I don't ever see no Terence Crawford interviews. I rarely see Terence Crawford videos. So Terence Crawford need to get his name up because, in my opinion, he's not the A-side to Errol Spence. I don't give a shit if Terence Crawford unify 8 divisions. Nobody know who the fuck you are. You don't talk to nobody. You ain't got no personality. Well, Errol Spence don't really got no personality unless he drunk either. So what does it matter, right? But Spence is the A-side. Crawford, clear B-side. Take your ass out to the media and start talking to motherfuckers, man. Like, start telling your story. You know, why should we rally behind you? You know, you be talking mad shit online. You be talking mad shit online, Terence Crawford. Mad shit. But it's okay, though. Where Errol Spence stopped your ass, you ain't gonna have shit to say on Twitter. Hitman Boxing. Drop a comment again. Like the video. Subscribe. I'm out.